disappointing game. They played and coached better than us. The Rams were the better team, obviously, yesterday. And so they played really well. We didn't take advantage of the opportunities when they were presented. And so we got a lot of growth opportunities coming out of this game. We got to get better collectively as a group. And so, we got a lot of work to do. But, our guys, I think, are still working really, really hard. They're battling. From a medical perspective, Tolly has a high ankle and Jack Stoll has a high ankle. So those will be week to week. We'll see, probably going to be tough to play this week, but we'll see how those guys progress.
You said high ankle sprain for both of them.
Yep. Yep.
You mentioned a lot of growth opportunities and
yeah.
The kind of cornerstone ones that you're looking at for
I think the fundamentals, this game can be really, really complicated. We can make it as complicated as we want to. We got to, you got to tackle really well. We had way too many missed tackles. We got to block really well. We got to protect the football. And so a lot of these games come down to, the fundamentals and details of the game. And, we got to put ourselves in better position because of that.
What was takeaways from just like the review of Tyler's first strike?
Yeah, I thought there were some positives. I thought Tyler had good command. I felt like he was in control. Obviously, at the end of the day, we just didn't get enough ops. He had 35 snaps because, obviously Taysom played QB a few snaps. I felt like there's some positive things in there. I thought the end of half drive, really, really good drive, really good example of him. Made some big-time throws. We got a, sack in there that he responds to after the penalty. And then in the second half, I thought he had a couple drives there where, we had some completion, and then, we just weren't able to finish the drives. So I thought there were some trends going upward. I really like Tyler's performance. And so obviously we got more steps to go as we go through that journey, but I think something he can build on.
What are like kind of the hurdles for Devon Bailey to get more consistent playing time? Like there's a high draft pick investment in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, we got to get him on the field. Obviously by situational football, we got to get down the red zone so we can utilize them down there. Certainly, that's a big factor. We got to get in some flow and some offense so we can play in some of those situations. And so, obviously, not my best part of this. I got to do a better job of giving him those opportunities, and he's doing a good job though.
It's been 5 consecutive weeks with the run game not being able to get to 100 yards. Just total.
Yep.
What's been the biggest hurdle for you?
Yeah, the biggest thing is we got to do better on first down. We got to do a better job in first down runs, create efficient runs so we can keep running the football. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10. When you get a 2-yard run on first down and the team goes to dime and now you're, playing in some passing situations, it becomes challenging. And so we got to execute at a higher level. You got to look at it from a schematic standpoint. How can we improve ourselves? Certainly I have to do that and put ourselves in better situations to be successful because, we're not getting it done yet.
What's been the thing maybe that's been most in the way in terms of being able to get those first down runs started, and those 2-yard runs and things like that?
Yeah, I think all aspects, starts with the scheme. Are we giving ourselves the best chance, best angles, best, design? And then secondly, are we able to execute it at a high enough level? And so there's a lot of things that go into that. Run game involves every single person on the field. And so that's an important part of it.
You feel like halfway through the season, has the team established like an identity and like is there a handful of things that like you can hang your hat on? Like what would those things kind of be?
Yeah, I think I think our guys play really, really hard. They play fast. They play physical. I love the effort that our guys play with. We got to play more consistent, fundamental football. And I think that's the thing that kind of jumps out to us. And so, we've done a good job of protecting the football, except for the last couple of weeks. It's kind of become a little bit of a trend. So we got to nip that. And then, we got to find a way to run the football. If we can run the football, a lot of things come off of that because obviously the way we're built, we need to be able to execute in that capacity. And, defensively, we just got to have consistency. We thought Tampa game was a really good game. Thought we really did an excellent job of knocking out the run game. And so, the game sandwiched on either side of that probably didn't execute to the standard that we want.
What do you think the issues are with the run game?
I think it's just, everyone being detailed in their work and, being all married together. And I think that's the beauty of what run game is in the NFL is one guy not in the right gap or doesn't fit it the right way. You create a major void, and that's where vertical cuts go and explosive runs are created. And then, the missed tackles have shown up. Obviously we had too many in this game.
When still establishing the identity, is that because of like newness and youth and get some guys, I guess, injuries rather?
Yeah, we just got to do a better job, find our rhythm and find our timing in all three phases of the game. We're not there yet. We're still building and growing. But we got to have some urgency to get there.
The deep ball that she up the right sideline,
Yeah.
like there's like maybe I don't know, like different pages or something. Like what happened there to kind of make that not
Right before half.
Yeah, because it looked like
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think he didn't find the football. We were taking a shot there. We'd gotten a first down on the first play of the drive. Kind of had a couple timeouts in our pocket, see if we can steal an explosive opportunity here. And felt like the ball, it's a good throw by Tyler. I thought he laid it up there, gave us a chance, and we just weren't able to locate the football.
What is your involvement in the trade deadline process like?
Yeah, we'll have plenty of conversations as we go through that. Obviously, Mickey and I talk a lot each and every day, and so anything that comes up, we'll obviously have those discussions necessary.
Are those kind of decisions that are made, in terms of, hey, this is a player that maybe interested in dealing, or there is interest elsewhere, and then you are informed of, or are you involved in that conversation?
Yeah, we'll just talk about it as it goes. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that we're focused on developing here, and that's certainly my goal and aspiration is help these guys become the best player they can be. Along the way, I understand there's a business side of this, and so when those discussions do come up, obviously Mickey and I will have those discussions and see if it is what's in the best interest of the football team.
Sean, I know you maintain kind of an optimistic outlook. I know, but I mean, how frustrating is this for you? I mean, I'm sure you didn't envision this kind of start.
Yeah, we haven't met our goals. We haven't met the standard. We're not playing winning football enough, and so it's obviously frustrating. Can we grow? Can we get better? Is there plenty of football ahead of us? Certainly, you can look at it from that lens. But we got to go through some challenging times right now. We got to push through them, and so these are where you get tested. These are where adversity hits a team, individuals, and we all have to collectively work together to get through it. And so there's plenty of good examples of teams that can bounce, once they get through this, they can bounce into something that's really, really positive and can respond the right way. And by no means is it fun right now, but it shouldn't be fun right now. It's, we're not winning football games. And so we got to get through that and come out on the other side a better team, better individuals. And, once we get there, then we can head where we ultimately want to go.
I know Gayle Benson was at the game yesterday. What kind of support or input you had from her and from Mickey Loomis?
Yeah. Mrs. B's been awesome through this whole process. She's very supportive of our team. I think so it makes it special. Obviously, we want to win for her and create the momentum that we all want to create as far as the rest of the season moving forward. And so, we got to get there.
How do you balance, maybe the best thing for 2026 isn't the best thing for 2025? Playing a guy now might help you win now, but playing somebody else might help you win next year. How do you guys have those discussions and kind of figure out the balance between those things?
Yeah, it's a good question. We know there's some guys that are going through some growth this year, and that's all part of the journey of young guys. We still need to compete and we still need to go win some games as we go through that journey. And I think you can attack both those opportunities at the same time. And so I do feel like some of these younger guys are going to have some experiences that they get to learn from and grow from. And they're going to become really impact players as our journey progresses in the coming years. But, as we go through this, we got to focus also on the task at hand at the same time and maximize the opportunities we have right in front of us.
What about the flip of that? Playing maybe an older player that last year's contract or, going that way, knowing that maybe playing the young guy now might help you win more 26, 27, 28.
I think we're trying to maximize every opportunity we have. There's a lot of ways that these guys are developing. I think Tyler's a great example. Tyler's developed over the course of, a lot of this season, even without playing. And obviously he took advantage of an opportunity last night and did some good things. Some of our older players, I think the way they approach this game is one of the most important aspects. Those guys can be great examples for these younger guys. When they see, DeMario out there competing and Cam out there competing and playing their tails off. And it's a challenging season for a lot of guys, but to see them and see the example that they're setting for these guys, I think has a huge, huge impact on these younger guys to see how how this thing needs to progress and where it's going to go. And so, you know, I have a ton of respect for those guys. They're battling each and every game. And, you know, certainly we have a ton of respect for that.
Saw Tyler in the game yesterday doing some stuff at the line. I mean, how much leeway are you giving him as a young quarterback to get in and out of things, and how much are you doing for him?
Yeah, very similar to how we've been doing it this year. I think Tyler has a great feel for the game. I think he can handle a lot. Obviously, you got to be, we'll build that as we go. You know, there's times where he'll have some different tools as far as protection adjustments. And then we'll try and utilize, you know, the headset as much as we can just to get into a few plays in the tempo offense and some of those different situations. So I thought he managed it pretty well. I thought he did some really good stuff. I felt like the operation was pretty clean.
You had a chance, obviously, to see him operate under duress on a few snaps.
Yep.
What are you looking for when you see a young quarterback under duress?
He wants to see where his eyes go, and then where's ultimately his body go. And so I thought there was some good stuff. He kept his eyes downfield, and I thought there were some really good examples of him stepping up in the pocket. That's always the biggest challenge for all young quarterbacks coming to the NFL is if you try to go back and out, which, you know, some guys can get away with in college, but now just with the sheer talent of these edge rushers, that's where the, you know, big sacks become and the fumbles and all the turnovers and stuff, because these guys are really, really talented. And so I thought his play to Chris right before half was an awesome example. The edges got up, you know, kind of high. He stepped up, he kind of moved off the spot, and then he found Chris moving across the field. And I thought that's a snapshot of everything we want out of Tyler. That was awesome.
Feels like we ask about Danny every week now, but was his usage this past game more so just because of, you know, the score and the situation?
We played a lot of snaps on defense, and so obviously his snaps went up. He had 23 snaps, and so you know, obviously we're trying to find a formula that worked there. We weren't able to play as consistent on defense, and so you know, when you play a lot of snaps, obviously guys are going to get more and more opportunities.
It's more on coaching and tackling across the league than saying specific, if you don't mind. It's what's your approach to, especially as the season wears on, balancing getting guys reps, trying to work on the tackling fundamentals versus keeping them as healthy as possible?
Yeah, anytime we're in pads, we're trying to utilize that. That's a critical opportunity for us to work on tackling, to focus on it, and then try and utilize all the different drills that we can. Obviously, as the season goes, the length of practices become a little bit more challenging just because of the wear and tear of an NFL season. Your number one thing is they got to be ready to go on Sunday, but the fundamentals is what we can't lose as we go through an NFL season. And so I felt like in this game, just too many fundamentals showed up, you know, the blocking, the tackling, the ball security. You know, this game can be a very simple game at times if you just think about it just from a fundamental standpoint. We got to knock those out of the park.
From the month that you arrived, you seemed very in tune with the connection between the team and the community fan base.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of the frustration that you're seeing from the fan base so far?
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I think we all want to win. We all want to find success in this journey, and so totally get it. You know, as we go, we're going to keep developing, keep growing, and we understand that there's some challenges that we've navigated, and so by no means have we met a standard, but we can get there. We can get there and we can grow. And, you know, there's too many good examples of teams that, you know, navigate different rough patches like this, and we come out of it a really, really good team and with a lot of potential moving forward.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who dat?
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time. Much love to each and every one of you that are out there in the YouTube universe or wherever you're watching this podcast right now. On this edition, we're not going to have a final thoughts episode of the State of the Saints podcast, what we normally do on a Monday after a Saints game. We're not going to do that today because, quite frankly, what did we learn from the New Orleans Saints game? I mean, what could you possibly have learned from this team in a game where they only had 10 first downs and had the ball for a total of 16 minutes? I mean, I guess the only thing we learned is something that we already have known for quite some time, and that is the New Orleans Saints aren't a good football team. But we're going to have a real conversation on this episode. We're going to keep it a buck. And I must say, I understand completely what this episode could possibly mean for myself. But I'm going to let y'all know straight up, real talk, when I decided that I wanted to do Saints Talk back in 2018, I wanted to do a podcast that was for the everyday Saints fan, because I was an everyday Saints fan. Still feel like I'm an everyday Saints fan. I wanted to create a platform where I give the members of the Who Dat Nation a voice. And by doing so, I understood what that could actually mean for, the direction of my career as a broadcaster, as a writer, or whatever. And I feel like I'll be doing the Who Dat Nation and the entire thought pattern of the State of the Saints podcast and Injustice if I didn't have a show like this. But we're going to keep it real, man. And I don't care who gets offended by it. I don't care who gets mad by it. And I don't care what it can possibly cost me. We got to have a conversation about this Saints front office and how they have turned this organization in less than 5 years into an absolute laughingstock. And it's not just the New Orleans Saints organization, it's the Pelicans as well. Upon the making of this video, the New Orleans Saints and the Pelicans have a total of 1 win between the both of those organizations. The Saints have played a total of 9 games, and the Pelicans have played a total of 6. And I'm saying that because we all know where I'm going with this. There's one person that owns both of those organizations, and that is Gayle Benson. And we also know that there's a guy who has been with this organization for nearly 2 decades and has really turned this team into an absolute joke under his leadership, and that's Mickey Loomis. And we need to have a conversation as to why or how things could possibly change in New Orleans, because quite frankly, Who Dat Nation, I don't like what I see. I don't like what I see. It is not watchable football. It is unwatchable football. People have tuned out. I've had conversations with Saints fans talking about bringing the bags back, which we'll get into that in a second. I've talked to Saints fans that said they haven't watched Saints games in weeks. And that's saying something, because I know that these fans are diehard Saints fans. And it's amazing to me that we have fell so far down to a point where people are really questioning, should they watch their favorite team on TV? Let that sink in, man. Some of you probably have been Saints fans for over 30 years, 40 years. So seeing the Saints in this situation, you probably experienced this before, but that doesn't mean that you want to experience it again. And some of you, this is new territory to you. This is new territory. This is the territory where your grandmama told you about it. Your mom, your daddy told you about it, but you never experienced it. And we need to have this conversation on this episode. And I promise you, I'm about to keep it 100. But before I do have to mention the fine folks at MyBookie. MyBookie is the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. And if you bet on the Saints game on yesterday, thought the Saints would cover, Saints were a 14.5-point underdog. I'm sorry. You lost your bread. All right. But in the meantime, you can still place your bets on MyBookie. You can use the promo code Saints and take a part in their $500 buy-in option, which means if you bet up to $500, you can get your $500 back if you lose it. No harm, no foul. Very, very simple. Just download the MyBookie app. Use the promo code Saints. Place your bets today. Thank you, MyBookie, for trusting in your boy to carry your brand throughout 2025 and collaborate with yours truly. But like I said, we about to have a conversation, man. We about to keep it 100. We about to keep it real. Back in 2023, I was already frustrated with Mickey Loomis. All right. And I was just a tad bit confused about Mickey Loomis and his position with the New Orleans Saints. So I did a little bit of an investigation. I started investigating like what happened with Tom Benson, right? I mean, we all know about the story about towards the latter years of his life. You know, they had a lot of court proceedings and stuff like that that were going on that involved his granddaughter, Rita Benson LeBlanc, and of course, Gayle Benson. Of course, you know, Rita felt that Tom Benson was being manipulated by, you know, Gayle Benson. And of course, they went to court with that because they said that he wasn't in his right mind. I'm paraphrasing, right? So you had individuals that were within the Saints organization, and you also had individuals that, you know, they basically had to draw a line in the sand. It's like, rather you're going to roll with Tom Benson and Gayle, or you're going to roll with Rita, right? So a lot of these guys that are in the front office right now, of course, roll with Gayle Benson and Tom Benson during this time. And of course, we know that Gayle Benson ended up coming on the receiving end of that proceeding, right? And now she owns the team. Towards the latter years of Tom Benson's career also, I don't know if y'all paid attention, or excuse me, life rather, they were, you know, going to different proceedings together because he was trying to kind of show Gayle Benson the ropes about being an owner. So she would go to these owner meetings and all these type of events with him because he was prepping her to own a team because he realized that, you know, he wasn't long for this earth. And when he passed away, there was a will that he left behind. There was a will that he left behind to, you know, keep his house in order, so to speak. Tom Benson left the team to his late, you know what I'm saying, to his wife, Gayle Benson. He made Dennis Lauscher the president. So those two are up at the top. Then you have Greg Bensel and you have Mickey Loomis, who are the executors, right? So if anything was to happen to Dennis Lauscher, Gayle Benson, then it comes between Greg Bensel and Mickey Loomis. And if these two disagree, Mickey Loomis has the final say, which means that Mickey Loomis is third in command of what happens with this football team. I found that out back in 2023, and I don't care what anybody says. I will battle or debate anybody. I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to come out and say that and bring that to the forefront. Then all of a sudden, I started seeing people say that same, song and dance. It's amazing to me how people say that and don't give me no doggone credit for me bringing that to the forefront, which it was pretty obvious because it was an article, but I don't think a lot of people were paying attention to it. I say that to say this, ladies and gentlemen. Lines were drawn during those court proceedings. You have a lot of people that want to see Mickey Loomis get fired from his general manager role. But because of his loyalty, because of the love that Tom Benson had for Mickey Loomis. Tom Benson didn't have any biological kids. Mickey Loomis was almost like a son to this guy. I mean, so much that he left like his team, a part of his team, in his will to Mickey Loomis. And this is where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason why the New Orleans Saints can continuously fumble all over themselves, make mistake after mistake after mistake. I'm talking Mickey Loomis. He can go out here, mess up the money. He can go out here, whiff on draft picks. He can keep the same old song and dance in the front office, and nothing will possibly change. As a matter of fact, upon the making of this video, and it could change tomorrow, we all know that the New Orleans Saints need to be in the midst of a fire sale right now as we speak. Has anybody, other than this press conference that we just heard from Kellen Moore, has anybody heard anything about a trade? Has anybody heard anything from Mickey Loomis or Gayle Benson? After a 1-8 start, the worst start in over 45 years, has anybody heard from the high ups? And don't believe that they don't know what's going on. They do. But once again, do you know why? Because there's absolutely zero accountability going on in the front office when it comes to Mickey Loomis or anybody in the front office. They will continue to fumble all over themselves and gaslight fans by bringing gold jerseys and white helmets and painting the end zone gold and coming up with all these different things to try to keep you captivated in a football team instead of looking at the obvious, which is you have a 70-year-old general manager who is long past his time, and it's pretty obvious that it was more of Sean Payton and Drew Brees than him. And he actually destroyed his own legacy. He destroyed his own legacy. If Sean Payton would have went to that press conference a couple of years ago, stepped down from being a head coach, Drew Brees retired the year before. If Mickey Loomis would have, after, I want to say maybe the year after, Sean Payton left, he decides to step down, I guarantee you, the way that you look at Mickey Loomis would be completely different than what you're looking at right now. Because it's obvious, it grows by the day that he had very little to do with the success of the New Orleans Saints during those 15, 16 years of relevancy that they had. Look no further than what's going on in Denver right now. How is it that the Saints make a trade with the Denver Broncos? The Denver Broncos acquire Sean Payton via trade. And in 2.5 seasons, Sean Payton, no, matter of fact, in less than one season, he has made the Denver Broncos relevant because the Denver Broncos went to the playoffs last season. They lost to the Buffalo Bills in a wild card round. His very first season, they didn't go to the playoffs. The second season, they made the playoffs. And as of right now, they're leading the AFC West right now as we speak. So every single week, it just shows that Mickey Loomis don't know what the hell he's doing, which leads me also to Gayle Benson. Everything I see from Gayle Benson shows me and tells me that she's a wonderful lady. Like you always see her in a community. She's always giving. This has absolutely nothing to do with that. I'm talking about from a football perspective. From a football and sports perspective. I mean this respectfully. She may be the worst owner in sports. And that's saying something because you got the Cleveland Browns and you got the Jets on deck right now. She may be the worst owner in sports. And it's not her fault. It's not her fault. The reason why I say it's not her fault, because I never believed that Gayle Benson knew anything about football. I still don't believe that Gayle Benson knows a lot about football. She probably knows more about football now, that her husband passed away and left her the team. She has no choice. But if you had football personalities, executives were to step down and leave, I don't think that she would know what to do. I think she is more of a figurehead. It's almost like, like the king and the queen of England or something like that. They're just figureheads. They don't really have any like political pull or anything. Well, they got political pull, but they're not really like political figures. They're more like just public figures that people just kind of, build up. That is what she is. I don't think that Gayle Benson would be around football if she wasn't married to Tom Benson. I feel maybe Gayle Benson probably never went to a football game before she met Tom Benson. That is what I get from them. And the New Orleans Saints fans are struggling to try to figure out what the heck is going on, because Gayle Benson is not going to make a move, because you have Mickey Loomis, who is the only person at the top that really understands football like that. You got some guys that's in the building, that he has elected, that have been general managers before, that have failed and got fired. Never really won anything of any significance, but they're in the building with him. And once again, the love and respect that Gayle Benson has for Mickey Loomis is the reason why Mickey Loomis can continue to do the things that he does. So I'm just saying this today. If you love the New Orleans Saints, if you want to see the New Orleans Saints do something, if you value the New Orleans Saints, it ain't about putting no damn bag on your head, because that makes absolutely no sense. You say, let's go to the game and put a bag on our head. Think about what you just said. What was the first thing you said? Let's go to the game. You're going to the game, so you already spent your hard-earned money. Who gives a damn if you got a bag on your head if I already got your bread? That's like somebody, that's like, there was this old saying like back in the day. Well, it was a story with NWA, where, with Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, they had like these big politicians and stuff like that got upset with the lyrics that was in their songs. So what did they do? They went to a CD store, bought all the NWA CDs, and they got like a cement truck or something like that to roll over the CDs. And somebody asked, it was like, man, they crushing y'all CDs. He was like, I don't care. They already bought them. So what point would you be making? Oh, we got a bag on our head. Oh, they see that on TV. They still got your bread. If you love the New Orleans Saints, if you value the New Orleans Saints, you have to hit them where it hurt, where they fully understand where you're coming from. And that's when it comes to the money. Don't buy the merchandise. Don't go to the games. Really make a stand for them and to understand that you ain't taking this BS no more. Because this could have been completely avoided. Everybody knew that Drew Brees was on borrowed time. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see the arm strength was starting to diminish. He contemplated retiring back at the end of the 2015 season. I'm pretty sure Drew Brees shared that information with the organization. Drew Brees is just not wired like that. He's not going to just wake up in the morning and say, man, I'm thinking about quitting, and not tell somebody. So he gave you an opportunity to go out here to try to find a succession plan. But instead, this blind loyalty that they had, oh, we don't want anybody sitting on the bench and making Drew feel like we're pushing him out of the door. It's not about that. It's a business at the end of the day. And the New Orleans Saints are not doing business like you see some of these teams are doing right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are a pretty stacked football team. But Howie Roseman, the general manager, what does he do? He goes out here and gets Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins, gives away a third-round pick to try to shore up a pass rush. Always still trying to find ways to be competitive and win, because he understands when you get into the playoffs, you're going up against a Matthew Stafford. You're going up against some of these other quarterbacks, the Jared Goffs of the world. You need a pass rush to put these guys on the ground. Right now, the Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC. They don't need Phillips, but that's a guy that's always thinking about making his team better. The New Orleans Saints care too much about relationships and friendships and love and all that kind of stuff. And that's important. You don't want to treat your employees like they just that. But at the end of the day, it's about business. And whoever's on this Saints team, the New Orleans Saints will exist much longer than they play. It is time for the buddy system in New Orleans to end. It is time for this buddy stuff to end. It is time for somebody to step up, put their big boy or big girl pants on, and make some tough decisions to change around what is going on in New Orleans. And as long as they continue to live in this echo chamber and pretend like they're a contender, pretend like they got top caliber players and they can just demand a second round pick for them, and they live in this land of delusion, we will continue to be in the same state that we're in right now, which is looking at an unwatchable product that nobody wants to see. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick of it. I know a lot of Saints fans sick of it. I know not only Saints fans are sick of it, Pelican fans are sick of it, because they use the same type of logic and mind frame when it comes to the Pelicans. And that's the reason why when guys leave the Pelicans organization, they talk about it, make fun of it. And we can't get mad, folks. We can't get mad because somebody telling us the truth about what's going on with a football team, a basketball team, because we got an emotional investment in it. We gotta remove ourselves from that emotional aspect and look at what's really going on right in front of us. Because a lot of us are standing on the front line for the Saints, and the Saints damn sure ain't standing on the front line for you. So you get no stripes. You don't get no rank for standing on the front line for a team that is clearly like doing everything it can to make you miserable. Meanwhile, you up here trying to act as if you're not miserable when you are, to defend a team that is the main cause of your misery. Somebody help me make that make sense, because it doesn't. This team is an embarrassment. This team is a joke. And it could have been avoided. And do the New Orleans Saints have talent on their team? Abso-freaking-lutely. They got talent. But at the end of the day, if I'm looking at some of these other teams around the National Football League, does the Saints' talent measure up? I think we seen yesterday against the Rams, it does not. It does not. The jury's still out on Kellen Moore. This is my last point, and I'll go ahead and read the comments. Jury's still out on Kellen Moore. But I'm telling you right now, the passive-aggressive approach, the punk football that I'm seeing, the second guessing on being aggressive, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't question Kellen Moore as a play caller. I think that he's one of the smartest play callers out there. As crazy as that sound, he hasn't shown in the last couple of weeks, but at the same time, you're losing football games. This is what I don't get, and this is what I can't accept. You're losing football games. You're not going anywhere. You're not winning the division. You can do whatever the heck you want right now. Like, you can make things miserable for other teams. You can do 5-6 Philly specials. You can do triple reverses. You can throw passes with Alvin Kamara. You can throw passes with Taysom Hill. Hell, you can throw passes with Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. You can come up with all type of different things. Make this ish exciting. At least people can actually watch it. But 4th and 1, Saints in plus territory. Instead of them going out there, you're losing. You got one win. And you sitting up there not trying to go for it. Man, you got Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn, Matt LaFleur. Like, you got all these other coaches. Ben Johnson. Man, 4th and 1 is like 1st and 10 of these guys. And I don't care what anybody says. You go for it on 4th down. You tell your team you going for it. Dudes get fired up. Man, we going for it. Oh, yeah. everybody on high alert because they want to get it done. Now, they don't get it done, but if you were to continuously do that, then guys can know, man, we got to go out here and step it up, man. He's putting his confidence in us to go out here and execute, but I don't see that at all. We're tucking our tail between our legs, sending out an inept kicker, even though he made one yesterday. I mean, it's touch and go to put 3 points on the board. Probably going to be the only 3 points you score all day. The Saints in 2 games, ladies and gentlemen, have scored a total of 13 points. Like, what are you playing for? Field position? What for? Your defense goes out there and, I mean, it's a Swiss cheese defense. So what's the point? Why are we playing chess? Like when you got a checkers team. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, the jury's still out. I don't know. But right now, it looks like dude is coaching like a punk. Yes, I just said that. You got to be aggressive, man. You 1-8. What do you have to lose at this point? What do you have to lose? Let's go ahead and read some of these comments. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments, man. First, I want to acknowledge the ones that donated. Josh says, please call the Cards and Cowboys games tonight. I'll see if I can get around to that, man. I'm going to try to see if I can get to it. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. I smell a new season of Hard Knocks coming. Yeah, I mean, they ain't going to have no choice. They're in that territory now where the NFL can actually select them to be on Hard Knocks. When her pockets start taking a hit, she's going to get it right. She don't really care about winning. I don't know if she don't even, I don't even know if that's the case, Smoke. I don't know if she doesn't care about winning or not. I just think she don't know what she's doing. I don't. I think that it's almost like if somebody has a business, right? And everybody, like everything is just fine-tuned. Like they ain't got to ask you for nothing. You know, you come into the building, the lights already on, the computer already, warmed up for you. Like all you got to do is just sit down and get your type on, and everything is just at your disposal. But then all of a sudden, whoo, the lights go out. Your assistant go home, right? Ain't nobody in the building right now. And you don't know how to turn back on the circuit breaker. That's what it is right now. Like, to me, you have all of these things have happened over the course of time. Sean Payton stepping down, Drew Brees stepping down. So now it's like the things that have protected you from looking like you know what you're doing are no longer there. They're being exposed. Like, seriously, like it goes deeper than just, oh, man, she don't care. Like, I think she does. I just don't think that she understands football like that. And I also think she values relationships more than anything else. And sometimes that can be your detriment if you can't see the forest through the trees, like for real. Like it causes you to be in a situation that you may not want to be in, and it also exposes you. And right now, Gayle Benson is being exposed. All she has to do is hire the right people and stay out of the way. But that involves making a tough decision. How do you hire the right people, Blue? How do you hire the right people? That's the question. How do you do that? You have to get rid of some of the old regime in order for you to replace them, right? So how do you do that? How do you do that if you value your relationships, personal relationships, versus, trying to kick somebody up out of the door? Loomis wouldn't have to worry about being a wizard with the cap if he didn't overspend for players. That's because that's how this organization runs. They run on loyalty. They run on relationships. They run on character. I think that production and playing ability takes a back seat to that. Like, we already heard this dude talk during a press conference. What things do you value? Are they smart? Have they been a team captain? Have they overcome some type of adversity? I ain't hear nothing. Like, the first thing should have came out, man. First thing we want to see if this guy is a winner. Have they played in a big time moment? How did they rise to the occasion? How did they try to make things work in that adverse situation. Like none of that. Like, does he have a captain's patch on his chest? Right? Like, as he overcomes some type of adversity, which explains why, you drafting guys in the first round who had 2 ACL tears. Because he overcame adversity, came back and got 6 sacks. So you're just looking at the 6 sacks. You're not looking at the fact that he had consecutive ACL tears. That's not important. It's the fact that he came back from 2 ACL tears and had 6 sacks in his senior season. That doesn't make sense to me, folks. Don't make much sense to me at all. I mean, it's all good to have guys who are leaders, play some college football and show some character, but can they play football too is the question. TJ, I have to disagree. The Browns owner is the worst in the NFL. Gayle is better than him. Maybe, but I don't know, man. Pelican fans and Saint fans might be thinking differently, but yeah, the Browns are pretty terrible. Pelicans need an entire new president, etc. No way you appointed football president to your baseball team. Exactly. Moore isn't it. I'm sorry. If he doesn't have great talent, then he can't uplift the team. I mean, to me, that's kind of hard not to, it's kind of hard to disagree with that. Like, if you think about it, everybody that he has worked with has been pretty much established. Now, I would say Dak Prescott wasn't as established. I mean, I want to say Dak came in the league, 2016? And Kellen Moore was the OC in 2018. So Dak was like in the league, I want to say going on like his 3rd season. So then he inherited Justin Herbert. Then he got Jalen Hurts. So, I mean, you have coached some of the best and most talented players at the quarterback position. And not to mention, you have coached the best running back like that's in the NFL right now, Saquon. So, I mean, who wouldn't be able to thrive in that situation? I mean, that's a fair assessment. That is a fair assessment. Now, I want to believe that he can actually coach, but right now, man, I'm looking at this team week after week. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. Like, if you look at at the beginning of the season, they was like hanging in there. They weren't turning the ball over. They were there in the end. At least you was like, man, I didn't think they were going to win, but man, they went out there and they battled pretty hard here. And you start to feel and believe like, man, you know what? This team might be all right. Like, okay, man, they going through their little issue right now. They rebuilding, but next year it might be a little better. They beat the Giants, get those 5 turnovers. Like, okay, cool, man. Okay, they turn the ball over. Young players making plays all over the place. Then the next thing you know, I mean, the bottom just drops. And they get worse every single week. Week after week after week, they get worse. Week after week after week, Kellen Moore just shows that, like, man, that other coach on the other side, no matter if he's new, doesn't matter if he's a seasoned veteran or a guy on a hot seat, he getting out coached by him. And that's a problem. That's a problem for me. And the undisciplined play is also a problem because those things you can control. You can control the undisciplined play. The talent level that you have on your team, you inherited that. So I can't blame you for that. But when I'm seeing guys getting false starts and constant mistakes over and over and over again, it's like, that's on you, man. That's on you. Alfred, thank you very much for the 499 says, I think Kellen going to be a good coach. He just know his team. Sorry. Every time he tries to go deep in his bag with plays, the offense always mess it up. False start, illegal formation, etc., etc. Super King Cooper, thank you very much for the 999 says, Loomis needs to be a man and step down if Gayle won't fire him. As for drafting, they need to stop getting choir boys and developmental players. We need to stop trying to get production from UDFAs. Man, you said a mouthful. I just don't understand. Like, you see all of these big-time college football players that play in the SEC and the Big Ten, ACC every single week go up in the college football playoff in these bowl games and play at a high level. You see Alabama players playing at a high level against LSU or Auburn. LSU players playing at a high level against Alabama and Auburn and Texas A&M. Well, not Texas A&M this year, but y'all get what I'm saying. You see all these guys making plays, and all of a sudden, you way over here, Saskatchewan somewhere, trying to draft a guy who nobody knows about, so you can be the smartest person in the room, and then you got to wait for this guy 2, 3, 4 years to finally live up to some type of expectations, and then by that time, he probably in his final year. We had his big time year. Then you want to pay him, but you're like, oh man, these last couple of years he didn't play like that. Then he leaves, and then the next thing you know, this man an all pro. This man sitting up here, leader of the team, captain patch on his chest. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, how about going after easy studies instead of guys that's a part of the Boy Scouts of America? I mean, why do we have to always get like? It's good to get some guys that shirt buttoned up to the top. That's cool, but you need some goons with it too. You need some dogs on your football team. I don't see that, man. I see, man, a lot of passive behavior. Like, where's the guy that just sits up here like, man, I'm a dog, I know it. Like, I don't care how people look at me. You see him on teams all the time. I mean, you see it in Philly, Jalen Carter. That's a prime example right there. Clearly, a screw is loose. But guess what? That guy goes out there and just is unstoppable. Like, it's okay that guys, ain't pulling up to choir rehearsal every Saturday afternoon. It's okay. Everybody's not going to be able to sing a C flat. But, you know what I'm saying, can he cover the flat? You know what I'm saying? Like can this man put the quarterback on the ground? That's my question. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand it, man. You looking at guys at Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, Georgia. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? And then, like I said, I feel like a lot of their decisions are more about trying to reel in fans instead of actually winning. What was and I'm saying this because, follow me. What was the biggest knock on Sean Payton? What was the one thing that everybody would say about Sean Payton? Sean Payton never drafted, never wanted to sign LSU players. Never wanted to get guys from the Louisiana area. That was the one knock on him. He leaves, what do the New Orleans Saints do? Get a bunch of LSU guys. And honestly, I'm wondering to myself, did they do that because they felt like those guys were going to be the best players available for them? Or did they do that because that was the knock and they just wanted the fan base to buy into what they're doing? A lot of what I'm seeing from the New Orleans Saints, and I could be wrong, but I don't think so. A lot of their decision-making is based on trying to get us emotionally involved again. And the biggest thing that can get a Saints fan emotionally involved and on board is you winning football games. And somebody please tell me, why does that feel like that is taking a back seat to every single thing that involves the Saints organization? Friendships, camaraderie, buddy system, all that stuff right there, I feel like it's ahead of winning. The actual goal, what you want to do as a professional sports franchise is win football games. People want to see more LSU players on the team. Don't get me wrong. That's always been the case. But guess what? When the Saints were winning, that's easier to accept, right? Oh, man, I wish we had some LSU players, but, man, at least we won in 12 games. At least we in a playoff. But like I said, I think a lot of their decision-making is based on trying to buy the fan base, gaslight the fan base. I really feel that way, man. I really do. This whole year from the time that it started, it feels like they have been gaslighting fans since the beginning. Since the beginning. Oh, what was last year? Dennis Allen, he didn't want to do any training camp around the fans. He didn't want to have the fans coming into airline and coming to the practice facility. None of this, right? What do they do? Well, Dennis didn't want to do that, but Kellen wants to. Like, trying to get people on board, trying to get people invested, man. And like I said, I think the decision making has a lot to do with the fact that they knew what fans were clamoring for, and it was like, okay, man, we're gonna do this. Pure desperation, in my opinion. Pure desperation. The only draft seniors and team captains. Gayle and Mickey don't care. So why should the fans? No way you put this trash on the field and say you're actually trying a bunch of clowns. Look, I hope that they're not trying. They can't be trying. Ain't no way. Ain't no way they trying. Ain't no way they trying, man. But this buddy system, once again, has got to end. It has got to end. Buddy system. And they want fans to be just fine with this, by the way. Keep giving them money while they put a garbage, sad 1-8 product on the field. Man, I'm going back to what I'm saying. And look, I apologize if you've been here since the beginning of this episode. I really do. But people are up here talking about putting a bag on their head. I'm telling you right now, do not put a bag on your head. Do not say, I'm going to the game and I'm putting a bag on my head. You are the problem. Why? Because the first statement you said, I'm going to the game. If you say I'm going to the game, you basically defeat the cause. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, okay, if you want to put a Swagman bag on at home, whatever, right? That's your prerogative. I wouldn't do it because I just feel like, look, when the Saints were rolling, when them boys were on fire, you were sitting up here bragging, boasting, all this type of stuff right there, talking about, man, Falcon fans, say something. Panther fans, say something. Buck fans, say something. Man, I say who that? All that stuff right there, right? But it ain't no fun. When the rabbit got the gun, then all of a sudden, oh, man, I got to put a bag on my head, man. I got to let them know that I ain't happy. Bruh, they got X for that, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Everybody is a very smart individual for the most part when it comes to Saints talk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find a better way to expound on your displeasure of the football team that doesn't involve a brown paper bag. But hey, to each his own. To each his own, folks. To each his own. Honestly, we was in trouble after we won that one bowl because we haven't cared enough since. I think they actually did care, man. They had a couple good teams. That 2012 team, 2018, where they should have went to the Super Bowl. Nola no call, right? I mean, they had some good teams. 2017, Minneapolis Miracle. Like, man, come on, man. Like, the Saints, they would have put up a fight against the Eagles. And who knows? Like, we know what the Saints do to the Eagles in the postseason. We already know, man. So, I mean, they had opportunities. It just didn't pan out. It just monumental collapses and out of this world faux pas took place. So, I mean, I'm not going to say they didn't try. It just didn't work out. Fans need to stop showing up to the Dome and just sell their tickets to the visiting fans. I just know they got something going on behind closed doors and will definitely hit the light soon. I don't know what's going on. I hope the light come on. I hope the light come on pretty soon, man, because I don't know how much more Saints fans can take of this stuff. We were not that bad yet. Crazy how fast Sean Payton got the Denver Broncos looking like Super Bowl contenders. That's what happens when you got a great coach. We need, let's opposing teams fill the Dome up. Facts, because you going to the game is supporting. them facts. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it goes back to that NWA analogy that I use, that example, right? You got these politicians out here getting mad and want to steamroll. You know, it was a steamroller, by the way, not a cement truck, but a steamroller. And, you know, you're going to get a steamroller and, you know, you're going to roll over the CDs like you did something, but you already done lined these dudes' pockets. You'd already paid for the CDs. You know, like, and that's what it is. So you want to put I want to go to the game to put a brown paper bag on. Bro, you can go to the game, put a brown paper bag on, a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, a nickel bag, whatever bag you want to put on. Guess what? They already got your money. So what's the point of like? What's the point? I'm gonna show them what? What you gonna show them that you paid $120 some odd dollars for Section 200? Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Like what kind of sense that make? I want people to use their minds, man. Like I'm gonna show them. You ain't gonna show nobody because if you got a bag on, they don't know who the hell you are. Like what are we doing here, man? Like that's counterproductive to me. In the words of the late great Bernie Mac, but this some bull. Let's see. Don't you need a big time nose tackle for a 3-4 defense? And why are the corners playing 5-7-0? The wide receiver went a second and 3 and 3rd and 4. I just watched the game emotionally, not investing. I ain't lying, boy. That zone coverage, boy. Them boys be back there in a popcorn section. I'm like, why y'all playing so far back? I mean, man, perfect example. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. There was, I want to say, was it 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2? I can't remember. So the Saints playing zone, corners fall back, nickels fall back, Matthew Stafford just audibles, right? I think it was the one where he yelled out to one of his tight ends, somebody need to get the F off. Right? He was saying, get off the line. Like one, you know, like one, you know, person had to be off the line, one person had to be on the line, whatever, right? And then all of a sudden he audibles, and it's just a quick, you know what I'm saying, a quick like hook route. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a 3-yard hook, throws it right to Devontae Adams for a first down. Devontae Adams just falls down on the ground. Like stuff like that, man. It's like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? It's just ridiculous stuff like that. Like, man, come on, man. Like it's way beyond. I hear people like going, and I'm so glad I didn't see none of this today. And I applaud the Who Dat Nation for this. I didn't see no quarterback debates and all that kind of stuff like I was seeing before. And I appreciate your efforts because now I think everybody understands that is way beyond the Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler debate is what's wrong with this football team. And I give credit to the Who Dat Nation for not wasting their time and life going back and forth about the quarterback position. Thank y'all so much for not wasting your time and effort on that particular topic because it's clear that it's way beyond just the quarterback position. Can we get a look back, coach, so the DBs can track the ball and not the players? They've been doing that all season. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened on that Nakua touchdown. And look, credit to Matthew Stafford because you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. You know why that play worked? Film study. Film study is the reason why that worked. Matthew Stafford watched the New Orleans Saints cornerbacks, and he saw that they ain't turned their head around. Guess what? That's the reason why he threw the football. That is a seasoned veteran making plays and understanding what the New Orleans Saints lack, and he exploited it. So you're absolutely right. That's the reason why that Puka Nacua touchdown existed. Brandon Staley 2020 defense is the problem. Look, I just think that when you look at Staley has always had talent. He's always had talent. Like you got to think about it, man. They had Brockers, they had Aaron Donald. Secondary, they had Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? You had Leonard Floyd. Like you had some good linebacker play some good secondary play, like how could you not lose? You know, like I mean, they pretty much had a set defense. Like Aaron Donald was basically unstoppable. Y'all know this. Like, so who not gonna thrive with that? And that goes back to a statement that somebody made earlier. Who, like, if you have Joey Bosa on one side, you got Khalil Mack on the other, you got Derwin James in the secondary, right? I mean, who not going, and Casey, you know what I'm saying, that you had in the secondary before he kind of like fell off from grace. Like, you had all these dudes, right? Casey Hayward, like you had all these dudes in your secondary. Who not going to thrive with that? Who not thriving with that, man? So maybe these guys know how to cook, right? And maybe these guys have been to chef school, but here's the thing. You done came to a restaurant and the restaurant had everything you need to cook this meal. Versus a guy who at home and, you know, he got a couple of little things in a cabinet that he can put together, some herbs and spices, if you will, to make a decent meal. Right? Or make a meal taste good in this case. So, you know, maybe these guys have been like they're that 5-star French restaurant or something like that. So who ain't gonna make a good meal with all that? We got the finest goose that was, you know, like, man, who not gonna cook something with that? We only have some of the best prime beef. Like, who not gonna make some good food with that? Best butter, best salt. Like, who ain't gonna make no good food with that? You burning that up, man, it ain't no hope for you. Saints never knew how to tackle over 15. 15 years, no tackling. Go check the rank in 2020. Brandon Staley, only one single year he had a good defense. He had good players, man. Like, you think about the Chargers, you think about the Rams. They had good players. Speak of lack of Caesar Salad, Ruiz, and Trevor Penning are some terrible guards. No running lanes at all. An indictment on Mickey Loomis again. You don't want drafting these dudes, paying Caesar Ruiz for reasons beyond me. Like, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, folks. I'm just wondering. Name me a year where Caesar Ruiz looked like he deserved a second contract. 2020, I was willing to give him a pass because we all know what 2020 was all about. A lot of things got shut down. A lot of things like these players couldn't do that they normally do in off-season activities. I was like, okay, cool. It's basically like a little red shirt year. It's unconventional. It's uncharted territory. Cool. 2021, what happened? We all seen what happened with Drew Brees, right? You know what I'm saying? Drew Brees basically takes a tackle, you know what I'm saying? Like, just basically get his ribs obliterated, right? So at the end of the day, what was that moment, that time that Cesar Ruiz, like, man, you know that, man, Cesar Ruiz had a good year back in where? Somebody please help me out with that. Help Brett out. Because he didn't deserve a second contract. Juwan Johnson, another guy. What had Juwan Johnson done to get a second contract? $30 million this dude getting paid. Has Juwan Johnson ever gave the Saints $30 million of production? No, at all. But Juwan Johnson's a good guy, and he is. I'm talking only from football. The guy seems like a good family guy, and that's the kind of stuff I bear. Y'all already know. Y'all already know the deal when it comes to that. I don't have no problem with that. But I'm talking about on the field. When you dropping passes, my son can catch at 6 is a problem. Now, if it was a guy who was just off the scrap heap and he shows some flashes or something and he drops a pass, oh, come on, man. Well, that's the reason why he didn't get drafted, right? That's what we going to say to justify him dropping a pass. But when you got that bread and you dropping passes that my 6-year-old son can catch, it's a problem. It's a problem. And this is what has been going on in New Orleans for, honestly, it's been going on longer than 4 years. It's just, you don't have the coach and the quarterback to absolve you of these mistakes, right? They're not you don't have the erasers anymore. You don't have the fixers anymore. So your mistakes are amplified. Once again, I use the phrase, the emperor has no clothes. And now he's walking around town and the little boy already just called it out that he ain't got no clothes. The emperor has no clothes, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when he smiled after that catch versus the Bears? Yeah, and flex at the end. Like, man, knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. Taylor, so buns at coverage. He can only play nickel. I like Alontae Taylor a lot, but Alontae Taylor is an average NFL player. He's average. It's simple. Like, there's some games where he going to make some plays. Like, send him on a blitz. I think that more than likely Alontae Taylor going to get home. We've seen it. But he's an average NFL player. I mean, and I say that respectfully. And if Alontae Taylor, if you're watching this right now, I am not a truck driver, my friend. I'm a radio broadcaster. I asked Alontae Taylor to be on the show before. He was like, man, you that truck driver that's always talking. I'm like, I ain't no truck driver, dude. Wrong guy. Shoot, and I'm like, I ain't never really said anything about him that I can't prove. I mean, your play proving that, is his play not proving that he's an average cornerback? I think so. All you got to do is make Mickey laugh and be a good guy, and you go get 30 million. Sign me up, man, for real. I'll come up in there. My name TJ Jones. How you doing, sir? How you doing? All right. Oh, well, man, great eye contact. Well, thank you, Mick. Man, you look like, man, you shook my hand like you should be making $50 million. Thank you, Mick. Want me to shake it harder for 60? Shoot. That's how them boys operating. For 60 million, I'll shake it harder. Shake your hand. Yeah, Taylor got to give up that number one. Well, he might be because I don't think he warranted a second deal. Well, let me take that back. On any other team, he would not, have a second deal. I'm just gonna say that. But with the Saints, he might be the highest paid nickel corner in the NFL. Wrong guy. Yeah, that's right, TJ. Didn't Alontae play safety at Tennessee? No, he played corner. He played corner, but I think that he would be more suitable at safety. I believe he would. I mean, think about what happened with P.J. Williams. Thank you, Slim. That was ironically, I just seen this. P.J. Williams, I mean, a liability as a corner. I mean, smoked like the finest brisket, burnt like the blackest biscuit. You get what I'm saying? Like, this dude couldn't cover with a bed sheet, right? This man couldn't cover if he had a partner, he was a cop. Like, it was bad, man. But guess what? You put P.J. Williams at safety, homeboy resurrected his career, turned that joint around, had some credible years. Like that game on Halloween a couple of years ago when the Saints played Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and P.J. Williams caught that pick, man, first off, I think we all can agree that was the last time the Superdome were probably at his loudest. And when he had that pick on Tom Brady. But before that, homeboy was getting toasted, roasted. Okay? I mean, roasted. But hey, man, maybe Alontae Taylor may need to make that move. I mean, he's not the worst nickel corner I've seen. I think there's something there, but average. It's like you said the other day, TJ. Mickey probably signed Cesar Ruiz to a contract because he looked him in the eye, shook his hand. While he's smacking his gum, Cesar is a great guy. Cesar Ruiz is a great guy. But once again, go back, ladies and gentlemen. Please do. Please do. For the exception of, I want to say Chris Olave. The last couple first-round draft picks that they had, I'm excluding Calvin Banks as well. Trevor Penning, Peyton Turner, who else? Davenport. Like, go back. Cesar Ruiz. All of them have like some type of story. Peyton Turner tore his ACL, right? When he was at Houston. I want to say he had another knee injury, right? Had multiple knee surgery or whatever. Cesar Ruiz, overcoming a situation, in his life. Trevor Penning coming from a small school. Nobody really everybody was counting him out, right? Marcus Davenport coming from a small school. Don't nobody know him. His upside. He's supposed to be the next Javon Curse. Man, please. Everybody has like these adverse situations. Can you play? Is the question. That's the question I got. That's the question they should have. Can you ball out? Is the question. Not some adverse situation. It's amazing. And you get a clap from me from overcoming the odds. But guess what? Overcoming the odds and actually playing some productive football on Sunday are two different things. Two different things, folks. Two different things. Being a great guy ain't got nothing to do with being a great lineman. Thank you. Can you play? Can you play is the question. Can you ball out is the question. If you're a great guy and you can ball out, I'm cool. Man, Marcus Colston never said anything. You barely ever heard Marcus Colston talk. Marcus Colston, when he celebrate, point up at the sky. Keep it moving. But he was a dog. You don't have to be the most vocal guy in the world. Just do your job. Just do your job. Oh, such and such rescued a cat up a tree when he was 15 years old. Got put in the front page of his local paper. What a great guy. Can he play? Can he catch that interception if the ball comes his way? Can he make somebody miss in a backfield? Can he deliver the ball on time and task? Like, I don't care about him being in the front page of the Daily Bugle. I don't care about that. What I care about is, can a dude play ball, man? That's the most important thing. That's what they should care about. Overcoming adversity. We overcome adversity every single day. Who doesn't, like in some part of your life? And like I said, I'm not trying to downgrade the odds that these individuals face, but I'm just saying, we all go through adverse situations. Like the adverse situations, they can help you to become who you are, but they don't make you who you are. Like, like this, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, folks. I want to get rid of Chris Olave and Josh Olave. Look, I ain't got no problem with Josh. Shouts out to Josh. Josh just being a brother. And if Chris Olave was my brother too, I'd be standing on the front line for him. So I ain't got nothing but respect for him. I've spoken with Josh in the past. I've invited him on the show. He's supposed to be on the show. Had some little some conflicts or whatever like that. Pretty sure he probably won't want to be on there now because I'm pretty critical of his brother, which I understand. But at the end of the day, he's just doing what a brother does. Let's see. TJ, I'm a Saints fan, but it was beautiful and sad watching that game. But I love seeing my little cousin enjoying himself on yesterday, number 17 for life. Look, man, that's what it's all about, right? That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, man. I'm having a good time. He got to stop dropping balls. Pause. But I get what you said. We talk about Juwan Johnson. Yeah, you're definitely right. Mickey Loomis, that's his new name. Man, I done ran out of words to describe or names to describe Mickey Loomis. Man, they just got to have a tough conversation. If you don't learn anything from what we have had this Who Dat Nation State of Emergency meeting here tonight on the State of the Saints podcast, you haven't learned anything. Just know the conversation needs to be made. need to be had, excuse me. That's what needs to be done on airline. Tough conversations, tough love. May even involve somebody leaving a room with tears in their eyes. But guess what? It's for the greater good. I mean, fans sanity is at stake at this point. Pelicans and Saints fans, like, something got to give, man. Something has got to give. TJ, bro, I'm at the gym laughing at you, bro. Wine, look, man, we just having a conversation. Like, we having a conversation. We keep it entertaining. We kind of keep it fun, but at the same time, like, come on, dude. Come on, man. You're hilarious. Good show you have, brother. My second time here. Man, Jerome, I appreciate it, man. And you got the same middle name as me, man. That's my middle name. Shouts out to you, Jerome. Let's see. TJ, who gonna get 2 wins first? Saints or the Pelicans? The Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans get more opportunities in the course of a week to win a game. Saints only get one shot. And like Eminem say, do not miss your chance to blow, please. Okay, we know the Saints have completely blown it constantly. At this rate, Atlanta is going to beat us. Excuse me why I go wash my mouth out for saying that. I mean, Atlanta, look, I might need to wash my mouth out too, but Atlanta is a better team than New Orleans. And anybody that's been rocking with the State of the Saints podcast already know me saying that is saying something. But they are. I mean, look, it is what it is. I just hope they don't get swept. Like if you win 2 games on the season, let it be against the Giants and the Falcons. That's the way I feel. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Saints fans feel the same way. It be some plays, Staley have them boys in position and they just get beat bad, like real bad. I seen that touchdown to Puka as soon as the ball was snapped. Yeah, because like I said, that's film study, Alfred. Hell with film study, my guy. Like, he know that those guys aren't turning their head around. And no quarterback is really going to throw that ball like that. Well, I take that back. All right. If you have an elite wide receiver, which he does, but also some film study has to be involved because you got to trust yourself to be able to make that throw, which Matthew Stafford is a damn beast, which goes back to when the Detroit Lions were trying to trade. I was like, man, the Saints need to go after Matthew Stafford. People thought I was crazy. Oh, man, he washed, man. Come on. Guarantee you right now, the Saints have won that division for the last 4 to 5 years with Matthew Stafford as the quarterback. And you will have more players willing to come here to play. Let's see. Already put that who got 2 wins first. I got the Pelicans on that. Pelicans get more opportunities to try to win games. And as soon as they get rid of old Willie boy down there in New Orleans, I think they're gonna turn it around. I just don't think they like him. They don't like him at all. My brother TJ, Dennis Allen and Mickey Mouse ruined this team. So sad. Look, I think it's mostly Mickey Loomis because you got to look at it, man. What they say, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? I mean, who knows? But in this case, you do. Mickey Loomis, it was his decision to go with Dennis Allen, no coaching tail. Excuse me, no head coaching tail. And he was the one that decided to hire him because he was afraid to try to do anything new, which goes back to the problem. Nobody wants to be aggressive. Everybody wants to keep things the same and revert back to the days of 2009. Man, Mick, the team is looking pretty bad right now, man. They're 1-8, but back in 2005, bro, who cares? 2005 was 20 years ago, dude. Back in 2006, we went to the NFC Championship game, and it was great. I ain't never thought I'd see it. But once again, 24 years ago. What are we doing? 20 plus years. What are we doing? Shoot, a million years ago. 2005. What you had? 2015, 20 years, 20 plus years? Million gazillion years ago. 19 years ago. Excuse me, my math is terrible. Y'all get what I'm saying? Need to help my son up in here. He the math whiz. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying? A million gazillion years ago. We reverting back to 2009. Great moment. I ain't never thought I'd see the Saints win a Super Bowl. Says I was 21 in 2005. Man, how old was I? 2005? 20? 19? What? I was 19 years old. Bro, I was 4 in 2000. Man, ain't nobody care about that. Nobody cares, man. Like, what are we doing now? Every time you put this dude back against the wall, he not answering questions. He basically beating around the bush. Like, man, come on, bro. You suck at your job. Like, it's just the reality. At one point, you didn't. I'll give him that. You know, there was some times where, you know, he looked serviceable as a GM. I mean, I at the end of the day, I question, you know, how much, but I feel like you competent enough. At least you knew that Sean Payton was a good coach. But after that, it's like, I don't know, dude got too big for his britches. Or I gave you the incredible stylings of Sean Payton and Drew Brees. Okay, that's cool, right? I mean, you ain't Barry Gordy around this thing. I mean, what, Barry Gordy gave you the Temptations, Four Tops, Jimmy Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else he gave you? Diana Ross. Like, he gave you the hits, right? You up here, you know, you up here still bragging on Mambo number 5. One hit wonder, baby got back. That's what you doing right now, man. You had a good hit. And you know what? That's a really good hit. You play it in a club, everybody gonna dance. But guess what? After they dance, where's the next track? Oh, that was it. That was his only number 1 hit. Okay. Come on, man. What we doing here? Like, I think I think he got too big for his britches. Like, he got to a point where it's like, okay, I brought in Sean Payton, man. I found one Sean Payton. I can find him again. And you turn to Dennis Allen. I mean, the complete antithesis of a Sean Payton. And then you double down on that with another passive-aggressive coach in Kellen Moore. So homie definitely got a type at this point. At least it looks like it. We the new generation of Saints fans post-2000. What the Hades is Cam Jordan doing on the field, making YouTube videos on how to get cardio in a football game? Look, man, I'm going to say this. All right? I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this for the people that just tuned in, new to the channel, first time listening, or probably a couple of times. I'm not looking at Cam Jordan for anything other than if Cam Jordan was to get a sack, oh, great. Like, I ain't looking at Cam Jordan like I'm looking at Cam Jordan in 2015, 2016, 2017. Cam Jordan is 36 years old. He's a 36-year-old defensive end who is probably getting about 15, 20% of the snaps if unless somebody hurt. Why am I looking at Cam Jordan and like, man, nah, bro. Cam Jordan has been, if not, top 3 greatest New Orleans Saints players of all time. If this man at this stage taking a victory lap, okay, at this point and just providing leadership, I'm okay with that. I'm not about to sit up here and bash Cam Jordan because Cam Jordan has given you the best years of his life. This man has been an Iron Man. This man has went out here and made plays, etc., etc. If you want to talk to me about Carl Granderson, who got a second deal, let's talk about it. You want to talk about Chase Young, who's looking like a beast right now, let's talk about it. Brian Brzee, let's have a conversation. Devon Goshaw, let's talk. But Cam, nah. Cam can go up here and talk about 24-hour rule all day and night, ticking people off. But guess what? Cam Jordan got them skins on the wall. Like the only thing I want to talk about when it comes to Cam Jordan is, should this man go and, be able to know what it's like to play in a Super Bowl? If the Eagles call up and be like, man, we need a depth piece on the defensive line. We want to make a trade for Cam Jordan. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to have a conversation about. I'm about to sit up here and bash no Cam Jordan because he's making workout videos. Cam Jordan has over 120 sacks in his career. Cam Jordan I can count on one hand how many games Cam Jordan has missed in his career since he was drafted in 2011. 3, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 3. 3 games. Maybe 2. I'm not about to sit up here and ban no Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan is a legend, man. Cam Jordan can sit up here, crack jokes at his locker, and be the model citizen that he is. I'm looking at some of these young bucks out here, man. Those are the ones that's supposed to be making plays. Like asking where Cam Jordan at, where the Mario Davis at. Like, man, the fact that we even having this conversation is the testament to how low the bar is or the degree of separation between Cam Jordan and everybody else. Demario Davis and everybody else. What I saw yesterday is Demario Davis led the team in tackles at 36 years old with 13. That's what I saw. That's what I seen. We need to be having a conversation. Why are we still asking for these guys in 2025 is the question. Hey, TJ, on a serious note, what in a black and gold heli is up with Devon Vele getting 29% of the snaps on offense? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is another terrible decision by Mickey Loomis. Another terrible decision by Mickey Loomis. You give away a 4th and a 7 for a guy that gets 29% of the snaps. And honestly, that's mind-blowing to me. Nev, that's mind-blowing to me because it feels less than that. This man ain't using the red zone. This man ain't using short yardage situations. But you keep on trying to give us the incredible stylings of Juwan Johnson in clutch situations, which he caught a pass yesterday for a touchdown. But he didn't. On a 4th down, we were wide open and should have caught a pass, dropped it. Turnover on downs. So maybe the New Orleans Saints just like to, I don't know. I mean, they did give it to the Broncos, so maybe Mickey Loomis is maybe trying to relocate to Denver or something like that, if things don't pan out. So he's trying to hurry up and try to stack the deck. It's almost like having 2 franchise teams on Madden. Okay, I'm going to trade Trevor Penning for Quentin Nelson, straight up. Do you accept the trade? Yes, I do. Maybe it's that. I don't know, man. Maybe it's that. Yeah, maybe it's one of them situations. Shoot, using dual teams so I can completely I give you Isaac Yadam for Patrick Surtain, straight up. I feel bad for some of our older players that game, everything they had. They giving it all, man. They giving it they all. The Denver Saints and the New Orleans Broncos. Yeah, TJ, the OGs should kick back and the younger players should be more hungry and play better. They just happy they with a team. That's why I said that American Idol mentality. Oh, I got the golden ticket. Mama, check this out, Ma. They like my song. I'm headed to Hollywood. Right. Look, there's nothing wrong with being honored, being in the National Football League, because there's millions of people that would trade places with these guys we see play on Sunday in a heartbeat. But to me, it should be a double-edged sword here. I should be happy to be on your team, but at the same time, you should be happy to have me as well. And I should carry myself as such, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, folks. So I don't know, man. This happy to be here type mentality, and maybe that's the case. I don't know, man. Maybe they just want guys that just be happy to be in a moment versus a guy who's a first round pick or something like that. That's absolute dog. And it's like, man, look, I'm happy to be here and all, but y'all drafted me for a reason. And they carry themselves like that. That's what I want. I'll take a quick pick for Ruiz trade. Fact Jack. The way it looks, we'll have the number 1 pick in the draft. Hopefully they don't screw that up. But I will say this, though. I will get y'all opinion about this. This will be the last thing. We done kind of beat this horse dead with this whole Mickey Loomis, Gayle Benson thing. Once again, if you just pulled up to the channel, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you're new, hopefully we won you over and you hit the subscribe button. If you've been here, please hit the like button because I'm looking at over 430 people watching this right now in real time across platforms. If we have 430 likes, we'll be all right. All right. But once again, if you don't learn anything from anything we said today, know this. Gayle Benson needs to have a conversation with your boy Mick. A tough conversation. Need to tell him 2 things. Mick, we appreciate what you have done for this team. You have helped this team in so many ways, but we need to go in a different direction. Mick, I don't want to do this, but we would like for you to step down. I wouldn't want it to be any bigger than this, right? We would like for you to step down. We don't want it to get ugly. Y'all, if you want to quit, whatever, fine. We would like to say that you decide to step down versus you got fired or you quit. Plain and simple. And we want to find somebody that, that's younger, more energetic, etc. You ain't got to say younger, but you get what I'm saying. That's the type of conversation. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's ugly. Even me trying to come up with the words are kind of tough, but it needs to be had. Somebody got to put their big boy pants, big girl pants on and handle some business. Plain and simple. Mickey Loomis, we have seen enough of this. We've seen enough. What more you need to see? This man is bringing down his organization and embarrassing it right now. The worst start in 45 years. Think about this, folks. Some of y'all see Mike Dicker as the coach, Gary DiNardo as the coach. Come on, man. What are we doing here? The worst start. That's saying something. Man, some of y'all some of y'all younger fans, y'all don't know, man. The Saints were terrible. And you talking about 45 years? Wow, man. Loomis think he's me, but he's really Skilo. Barry Gordy. Definitely ain't no Barry Gordy, man. Barry Gordy came with the hits. That's too nice, TJ. They need to bring out the Apollo cloud look, you got to show the man some levels of respect. Okay, I get how people feel it right now, but I'm talking about it from that, like, Gayle Benson doesn't see Mickey Loomis how we see Mickey Loomis. We don't know Mickey Loomis on the level Gayle Benson knows him. You're not going to just sit up here if you got a homeboy or something like that, man, and he like, I don't know, man, every time he go out, he act a fool or something like that when y'all go out. And, like you ain't about to just sit up here and just embarrass him like, okay, man, look, gather around everybody. I got something to say to this guy. No, man, you're going to be like, okay, man, I don't want to put his business out there in the street, but we got to have a real conversation, right? Man, come over here, man. Let me chop it up with you real quick. Oh, man, you can't talk right now, man. Holler at me when you can, right? And you're going to, like, give it to him straight. Pause. You're going to tell him, like, hey, you my guy. You know, I appreciate you, man. You've been cool, whatever, like blah, blah, blah. I think you need to chill out on this, that, and the third. That's what you gonna do. You ain't about to just sit up here. Look, you suck. Everybody know you suck. Look at what social media is saying about you. You suck. All right. So without further ado, here's Sad Man Sims. Like, you ain't about to do that, man. All right. But you got to have a tough conversation with him, man. And to me, allow him to step down. Allow him to step down. Sure, I don't care how you word it. Mickey Loomis has decided to step down from his general manager duties with the New Orleans Saints. Ah, shucks. We appreciate you, Mick. I lost all respect for Mickey Loomis when he compared this alley to Super Bowlers and Hall of Famers. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. And homeboy thought he was cooking too, because he was chewing that gum. I mean, he thought he was in his bag with it, boy. Homie thought he was in his bag. That's a touchdown. I'm looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. with that easy touchdown. The Cowboys defense stink, by the way. And we're going to be switching over. So if you all want to do this watch along alongside yours truly, we're going to go ahead and we're going to shift gears. And when we end this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch the rest of this Dallas Cowboy Arizona Cardinal game. Unfortunately, I'm not but I'm gonna go ahead and watch it. So if y'all watching this Monday Night Football game, come on over, man. Let's go ahead and talk. We'll continue to talk. Whatever direction y'all want to go in, y'all want to ask your Saints questions or whatever, feel free to do so, okay? But we can go ahead and wrap it up here. And I want to say thank you all for checking out this edition of the State of the Saints podcast. Look, man, I'm sorry. I know I probably stepped on some toes. Well, I take that back. I don't apologize because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. I don't care if I rub somebody the wrong way. I don't care what this could possibly cost me because I do this for the everyday Saints fan, the person that made me, a personality, a content creator that they can trust, and I will not violate that trust. I ain't seen the check. I ain't seen the access yet, bro, because we're going to make it in the end when it all comes down to it. But we're going to keep this thing 100. All right? So if I stepped on some toes, it is what it is. Something needs to change. Something needs to change. And too many comfortable people lay made in the shade out there on airline. I mean, it's Carnival Cruise Line. It's the Four Seasons. People got to get uncomfortable in order for this team to get comfortable. And right now, too many people, way too comfortable. And I'm sick of it. And I know a lot of people in this chat are sick of it. I know the people that's watching this right now are sick of it. I know the people that's listening to this right now are sick of it. People want to see this team succeed. That's all it comes down to. And if that means that I got to sit up here and pound the drum and continue to say this, it is what it is. Because something needs to change. And Mickey Loomis should not be the leader of that change. He should not be. He has shown on countless occasions that he doesn't have what it takes. So they need to figure it out. And I ain't talking about none of them yes men that he done assembled up there either. The Thomas Dimitroff and all them other guys. They got fired for a reason. How about giving a young guy an opportunity? Somebody that's hungry. Somebody with a vision. Somebody with some dog in them. Giving him an opportunity. Not somebody that's looking for somebody that made the local paper when he was 15. Previous episodes available right here on YouTube. Make sure that you check out the State of the NFL. Also, the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And also, you can follow me on X at TJAYJones8. I'll see that to the rest of you.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that?